Ladies and gentlemen, we are all very much aware that in the past few weeks ago, the various social media platforms were washed by what we, the security, termed it as a fake propaganda, purporting that there were a group of people who were in demand of people's heads, and they were cutting people's heads. And still, the propagandists alleged that the people who are cutting these heads were required for sacrifice at the Karoma Bridge as the construction goes on. Once again, I want to categorically put it very, very clearly that we as the security, when we got this information, we followed it up. We made clarification with some media houses. And the information trickled down, though we later realized that there was still a gap of information sharing. It seemed that the information didn't really trickle down very well, and that is why we continuously received the same sharings of such fake propaganda. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to put it very, very clearly that there is nothing of such nature which is taking place. Let me say particularly in Aswa West region. There is no any such incidences which is taking place in Aswa West region. These things could have happened somewhere else, but we have realized that there is a group of people who are abusing the cyberspace through some social media platforms to circulate this information with the interest best known to them. That has now attracted our interest as the security to investigate, get such groups of people who are circulating such malicious information or false information with the aim of ascertaining their motives behind that. The many heads you are seeing, we even tried to find out that when we realized that this happened in a country, West Africa, in Nigeria. It was occasioned by Boko Haram. Those heads you are seeing. And if you look very, very critically, you will realize that these heads are being photoshopped. You will find others are 14. In another sharing, you find there are 3, and it's the same heads. But it adjusts. So that one day we realize it happened somewhere very, very far. And then now, there is this one here, there is a video that was released also through a social media platform, whereby in the video you will see a policeman carrying the head of a human being, taking to the what? To the police pickup. And in that video, I think you will hear about 3 different languages. You will hear Rukonjo, Rutoro, and some Luganda. So we also picked interest and ensured that we really ascertain where this thing happened. And we realized it happened in Western Uganda, and this was purely a scene of accident. This was a scene of accident whereby a motorcyclist was riding, crashed the roadside pavement, the roadside metallic pavement that ended up cutting off his neck. The police responded at the scene, and that is when you saw that video was recorded, and the head was being taken to the police truck. Now, what are we trying to say here? As I earlier on said, that we have picked interest in a section of people who are trying to meddle this confusion by causing panic, unnecessary panic, with the wananchi. This information, this false information, is being shared by the elites group in the society. And these are basically the people who are abusing the cyberspace through their social media, various social media platforms, and they're keeping on repeatedly sharing this information in spite of our efforts as the security to try to build confidence in the wananchi that there is nothing of such kind. And if there was any of such information, we as the security would have been the first to go on ground and ensure that we are guaranteeing the security to the people. So I want to put it very, very clear that there is no any such kind of happenings in Aswa West region in particular. Because one, we don't have any informal complaint registered at the police regarding the same. Two, we as the police, we don't have any case of that nature that we're investigating. Three, we don't have any suspect in our custody in connection to that. Or there is no any person we are looking for in connection to that kind of false information being shared. As I said, yes, it is capable of causing panic if this information is not, if people are not sensitized about this malicious information. And this is a collective responsibility of all of us. So instead of escalating panic by sharing this information, please, let us desist from it, and we embark on sensitizing our people by telling them that the security is guaranteed. Because we are still trying to recover. You know, we are all aware of what we went through. We are still recovering from the post-war trauma. And if we are adding on other things that is capable of taking us back, of rewinding our memories, then we are going to inflict more pain on our people. So let's desist from sharing false information, but rather let us build confidence in our people, and we share this information that the security has clarified that there is nothing of that nature. And we as the police, we don't have any formal report or any complaint regarding this. But this is basically the issue of misuse of social media. People, rather than using social media to educate the masses, make businesses, make connections, entertain themselves, they end up abusing it. That's why I've said that we have picked interest on those who are circulating that information. And once we pick those who are behind this, definitely we shall have to put them to task to tell us where the source of this information they are trying to circulate maliciously. And of course, once we find them culpable to sharing false information, then the provisions of the law which shall determine the next course of action. Of course, that will mean and include prosecution in courts of law. So the strongest message is, let us sensitize our people against this vice and build confidence in them. Yes, of course, we can't rubbish that there was already panic inflicted on the people. There was panic inflicted on the people through this false information, but it's us now to ensure that we take the message to them that there is nothing of this kind. Most of these things happen sometimes back somewhere very far, but people are just trying to Photoshop and ensure that they fulfill with their personal agenda, which we cannot allow. So we have picked interest in those who are abusing the cyberspace by circulating false information with intent to cause panic to the members of the public. And definitely, our intelligence task team are on the ground, and our cyber crime desk are aware about this, and we are tracking them slowly. And sooner or later, when you hear that we have picked some people circulating this information, it is because of why we want to ascertain where the source of that information of theirs and why are they using it to destabilize the peace of the wananchi. I think that is it.